Everyone is always talking about the Airsoft community, being a good member of the Airsoft community, bringing people into the Airsoft community. This is going to negatively affect the Airsoft community, but what are we really talking about when we try to define what that community is? Because since it's a worldwide thing, what is the community? At its lowest level, you have airsoft fields, local fields. So let's use Northern California, where I'm at, for an example. Within the Sacramento area, within about an hour or so drive, you've got Airsoft Ministry, CQB City, All Patriot Airsoft, and West Coast Adventure Park. You have 4 fields in about, give or take, about an hour's drive, roughly. It is very common for players to be field loyal, meaning they don't go to other fields, they only play at that one field. So does that then mean that they are not a part of the Airsoft community because they are intentionally not going to other fields? Or are they just more loyal to the field's Airsoft community and they're not so concerned about anything else? So this concept of community gets real weird because there are a lot of players who are field loyal and outright refuse to play at other fields. And there's also, you look at businesses as well. So let's say CQB City in Stockton, let's say they're having some sort of special event and it's going to be on a Saturday when every airsoft field is open. If I, as the Airsoft Ministry, do not share the awareness and the attention of that airsoft event, am I not being a part of the community because I don't want to promote a competitor? So now, do we hold fields to that same example? What do we do? Or let's say I'm a California-based player. I have never played airsoft on the East Coast. Really, I've never played in another time zone. The only other field I've been to outside the state of California has been Oregon Airsoft. And that's it. So am I then not an active member of the community because I haven't gone to every field out there? In some ways, there's also an argument that there's kind of 2 big parts of the airsoft community. So there's like the field stuff, like there's the physical community of you knowing people and like, oh, I know this ref at this field and I know these kids, they play at this field, I know this team, they play at this field. So there's the physical community. Then there's also the social media community. I have tons of friends I haven't met in person. I've only met them through Instagram. So there's also an online community as well. You look at Reddit, people super active in Reddit. You look at YouTube channels, guys that are having dialogues within the comments of YouTube videos, people sharing other people's posts, commenting, exchanging dialogue online. But if that player is in another country, are you still a part of the same community? I think it's sort of specific to who and where you are. So if you look at kind of the Midwest of America, like Idaho, Wyoming, Nebraska, like some of those plains states, I don't think there's a single field in those states. Or if there is, it's like a loose organization of folks that just want to play. But you don't really have established fields and businesses from what I've seen online, or I guess what I should say is from what I haven't seen online. So for me, the community starts at you playing at the field. That's the rental level, that's the casual level. You start playing, you go to one field. You usually have that as your home field, as the kids say. Then you find out, hey, there's another field. Cool, it's less than an hour away. Let's give it a shot. There's an interesting thing in jiu-jitsu and also in my buddies that do MMA that I've cornered. It's usually referred to as cross-training. So in cross-training, you have Bob's Jiu-Jitsu School. I go to Bob's Jiu-Jitsu School, every day or a couple times a week or whatever. There's going to be a seminar at Joe's Jiu-Jitsu School. If you are at a good school, those guys are going to talk about that event and encourage their students to go to that event. They're encouraging students to go to other businesses and get involved in that at that school and roll with guys and train with guys. It's called cross training. But we don't have that in Airsoft. If you're at Bob's Airsoft field and Joe's Airsoft field is 30 to 40 minutes away and it's an easy drive, if Bob has an event, Joe's not going to talk about it. Just because he doesn't want people to go to his business. I understand that, but at the same time, I wish more fields would be more friendly in a business sense towards each other. Like, hey guys, hi, I'm Bob with Bob's Airsoft Field. Next weekend, Joe at Joe's Airsoft Field, 30 minutes down the road, is having a player appreciation day, or these guys they're having this special event. Go try it. It's super fun. I think you're really gonna love that event. I wish more fields would do that. I try to do that with the Airsoft Ministry. Anytime All Patriot Airsoft or CQB City in Stockton have an event or try and do something specific or something kind of unique, or just in general, I try and promote that field through the Airsoft Ministries Instagram, because I run it. If West Coast Adventure Park had an Instagram that they'd had a post on since 2016, I would be more than happy to do it for them also. There's a guy that started a kind of a field, kind of like a monthly special event sort of a thing, called Gold Country Airsoft. Gold Country Airsoft? Yeah, up in El Dorado Hills-ish area. I hit him up, said if he needed any help, I'd love to help him. I've promoted his stuff on all of our social media platforms and tried to do what I can to help that overall community grow. But that's not something you see a lot from businesses, and I wish it was. I also wish more players would at least try to go to other fields so they can just kind of get other experiences. Because if we look at food in restaurants, you might have a favorite Mexican place, but you also like that other spot too. So we're gonna go to Mexican restaurant A today. Dude, you know what? We haven't been to Mexican restaurant B in maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month. Let's go there, man. Let's go there this A is where we go to all the time. It's closer to us and it's easier to drive to. But dude, B is pretty dope also, so let's check that out. I wish more players would play at other fields just to experience it, to get further involved in the Airsoft community that we always try to talk about.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?